people kicking her back in for the credits and all that kind of shit. So I don't know. I have no idea what people want anymore.
I wasn't mad. Like, I wasn't mad at the song itself. Like, it wasn't my favorite Cardi song, and I don't by any means think this is going to be a huge smash song like her other, like the Outside record. But I do think that we need Cardi showcasing that every once in a while, because people do forget that, like, she does have presence. She can rap. Now, I don't know how to feel about it when I think amazing bars, and I know for a fact that the bars aren't hers. Like that, I do feel weird. I'm like,
well, they finally
complimenting
get credit.
bars.
At first, it came out without the writing credit, but now it is Partisan. Partisan is credited on the record.
Partisan Fontaine.
Partisan, her main writer. Partisan
he is Cardi
Fontaine.
B. Like he is Cardi B.
He is Cardi B.
Bars.
Okay.
You know, Partisan has for years been behind the scenes. He's credited on most songs. He's not a ghostwriter. He's a credited writer, but he does a very good job of writing for Cardi B.
How do we know? Here's to shoot us some bill. How do we know that she's not involved with that process? It isn't like him just giving her a list of bars and she's just rapping and trying to get the cadence down. Maybe she's coming up with like a Kanye thing with his writers at the time. She's coming up with ideas and concepts. They're great writings together. They're writers together.
And that's possible too.
I
think the only thing missing here that we did get on, like the intro to her Invasion of Privacy album where she was really spitting, Bodak Yellow where she was really spitting, is the delivery here wasn't at top tier Cardi form. That's what I felt like was missing. Because
she was trying to emulate the whole cadence.
Flow,
and the confidence, and it sounded a little punchy at times. If you like, people that know music can hear the punch-ins at times. It wasn't effortless. It was very structured. Like, this has to nail the Jay-Z aesthetic. This is what I'm going for. So there's a naturalness that isn't in the record, I guess.
Yeah, but I did like the song.
When I was younger, I remember when people would take beats and flip them, and they would rap over the beats like that are iconic songs and shit. I would want them to mimic the original song, selfishly as a fan, because and then it stays familiar in my brain. Right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to ratify in my brain, right? And as I got older, I realized, no. The best thing to do is to make a completely different record. Don't do the same cadence. Don't do the same flow. Don't change everything up to own the record and make it your own, because no matter what, you're going to get compared to the original.
Yeah.
So it's better to just do something original that gets compared to the original than try to mimic the original, because it's never going to land with people, because people are just in love with these iconic songs. That's just how I think about it.
Well, I think that overall, I mean, my journey with the record was, when I first heard it, I didn't necessarily love it. I was like, man, I didn't expect her to go so spot on, like you said, of emulating it. Then, to her credit, she dropped the video. And the video was dope and beautiful and well shot. And it was just like, I was like, oh, I get it. This is a strategic move. This is I'm hip hop move, right? And I'm changing the conversation of like, I have to have the big single per se. Like, I'm Cardi B. Like, I've done this in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, my album's coming in 3 weeks. You're going to press play on that motherfucker. I'm a cultural leader in this space. So it was an assertion. Like, it was a strategic move to me to more to a song. It reminded me of when, historically, not the same thing, but when Nas did Omatic, was following it up with It Was Written, which was more of a commercial sounding record. What Steve Stout and them did was he put out a freestyle right before called Escobar Season, because it was like he knew that they were going to get mad that this was going more commercial, so they wanted to make sure Nas still had that credibility in the space. So they dropped this Escobar Season freestyle, and then If I Ruled the World came out with Lauryn Hill, and everybody went crazy. So I think he tried to culturally reset it. Outside didn't really resonate the way I think she hoped it would.
I thought it was going to be a bigger song.
We thought it'd be a bigger song. So this was to reset the whole table of like, look, I'm hip hop. Like, you're forgetting how big Cardi B is in the space, and also that I'm hip hop. I love hip hop, the culture. Like, I'm gonna take this on. I'm gonna take the challenge on doing Jay-Z's record and doing this, her mind, a flawless cover of it. Whether she executed it or not, that was the goal. Mm-hmm. So I look at it like a cultural reset, and I think it was a smart strategic move, if anything else, and it got people talking about her in a way that wasn't just about what do we expect from the album and the pressures of the album. It kind of made it all about this, and this is the right move or not. And I think for that, it was a good strategic move.
I think that I don't think Outside did what obviously people thought it was going to do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be honest with you, I still think...
I'm just being honest. Let's get to I'm just being honest. How you feel about this Cardi project? How you feel? We got 3 weeks away.
I think that Up has been her best release.
Yeah.
I like Up. I still play Up. The girls love Up. I play it every time I DJ.
So does she not need a hit coming out with this album out the gate? Because she has hits already?
I think any artist that's signed to a major label that does major label business needs a single. And I think it's a mistake to think otherwise.
Like she shouldn't drop the album unless she has that big record, which she hasn't had
no,
yet.
I know the label structure. So in that structure, in that building, if you don't have a money generating record to point people to the project, I know that the buildings are usually not enthused about your project.
Yeah.
Although,
especially now when there's new leadership, she's working with a new team. Also, the team that's there, as we know, at Atlantic,
yeah,
and it'd be an artist.
Elliot Grange. It's a new regime. She's not familiar working with them.
So it'd be in an artist's best interest to figure that process out, because just coming out and being dope, I mean, it's possible, but then you have to be so overwhelmingly dope to overshadow to overshadow the business. There's a reason why there's music, and then there's a music business. So it's just
she's lucky though, because she has two of the biggest songs of the last 10 years with Up and WAP. Like WAP maybe is in the top.
Those are
30s.
diamond records,
yeah,
right?
So at least she gets to put those on the record and just be like, okay, no matter what, my sales are going to be okay. Like those are streamed.
But crazy. I can see it. But I can see also with the strategic move of this freestyle, right? Changing the conversation to hip hop and whether this was the right move. She kind of opens herself up now. Now she could drop another record, a single, right before the album drop. That's really super commercial. Like I Like It Like That kind of vibe, or crossover, like a big, trying to go for the big pop crossover record. Do we see her doing something like that? Do we see a single right before the album? I think that's what the play now would have to be. And then to DJ Head's point, if that record doesn't come out the gate strong, do you consider pushing the album back?
Well, okay, so September 19th is the expected date as of right now. That gives like 3-ish weeks to
I don't think she wants to push it back.
No, I think you drop
a lot of stuff's aligned.
You drop one more song before, maybe a week before. The thing about it is, if it's a really, really great album, I think that pushes some of these songs over the top too. Like I think we have seen that before, where in the context of an album, a song can kind of stand out and become the single if it's a really great album. I think even on her first album that happened with a few songs where like it wasn't expected to be a massive hit, but because everyone's streaming the whole thing, playing the whole album, there could be some standouts. So I wouldn't push it back anymore.
I hope so. I'm a Cardi B fan.
Yeah, me too.
I just know that people become victims of circumstance. Whenever they try to buck the system, or I'm not doing it this way, and the system usually eats them up.
But you feel like she's trying to do that here? I don't think she is.
No. I'm not saying specific to her. I'm just saying, to Jeremy's point, sometimes when people just drop their album and then songs come later, a lot of times they don't.
That's true too.
That's too much of a game.